Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we're going to take a look at the 1951 United States $quarter coin, the Washington quarter, which first came out in 1932 on George Washington's 200th birthday. 90% silver, 10% copper. How about our 1951 thing? It says Liberty at the top, Washington facing to the left, and God we trust under his chin. 1951 here, and if we look on the back of this, no mint mark. You can see how these coins get worn down a little bit. It's not clear to me that it has a full amount of silver in it anymore, but it's still worth $6 or $7 in this condition because it has $4 or $5 worth of silver. It is, if we tip it up on its edge, you see that it's 90% silver. Now these are all circulating coins I'm showing you. Did they have uncirculated coins in 1951? Sure they did. They had uncirculated mint sets. This coin actually is a relatively valuable coin. It's probably worth between $20 and $30. And this is the D. We can see some of the body feathers on here, United States of America. This is into the MS's, and it just has some really good coloring and some really good detail. This is the 1951 Denver Mint coin. They made 35,354,800 of these in 1951. They also made these coins at the San Francisco Mint, and this is not, even though you look at it and say, wow, that's a beauty, it's not from a proof set or anything. This is just a really, really good condition one we borrowed from a coin dealer. It says S here, and that's the S that's kind of muddy there. See, it almost looks more like an 8 when you magnify it up. The 1951 S, they made 9 million of these. This one here is probably worth $35 or so. It's pretty close. If it's not MS65 condition, I'd be really surprised. Look how good the arrows are. Kind of this light tail feathers down here, but that's how they made them. Really good depth in here. Tip it up on its side, and we see that just actually get some coloring in the rim. And when we flip it over, we can see that we can really see the initials. The JF down here of John Flanagan, who was the engraver of these coins. And you can see the coloring coming back here. That's where you get some of the value. PCGS has listed some of these as sold for $4,000 to $5,000. So that's the S. So now we have the D, we have the S, and these are either uncirculated or almost uncirculated. This one, the S, is just a beauty. It's probably an MS version. And then here's another one. Look at the coloring in this. Another one we got from a collector. This is the best initials of all of the ones that we've just looked at. And you can see the JF down here, not worn at all. You can see the detail in the kind of ponytail coming down through, and the tie and the ribbon, the coloring in the hair and the face, little chips there. But this is from the mint. So these are not post-mint damage, the PMD. And then look at the In God We Trust there, just beautiful definition. You can see the little dip on the bottom of the G there. That's something that it's hard to survive on these coins. The G kind of goes sideways across the top, and then you see a little bit of either doubling or a chip there on the end. We flip this coin over and we see that it is no mint mark, and so that means it's the Philadelphia Mint. We see it's a little worse on the back, so that's going to take the value down a little bit. At the Philadelphia Mint, they made 43.448 million of these, so this is probably worth $9 or $10 too, just based on the front and the coloring. And look at how that line kind of comes across. Sometimes that comes from it being in like a plastic sheathing, sometimes it comes from it being in somebody's coin collector's book. But sometimes, like, we just get but the tail feathers on this one much more defined. All right, did they make them in uncirculated mint sets? They sure did. They made 8,654 uncirculated mint sets, one of the most valuable uncirculated sets of any year. It sold for $6.75 in 1951, which was a day's pay for many, many people. We're talking about a time when people were making under $1 an hour in a lot of the service industries. So $6.75 is now selling for $950 for an uncirculated mint set. They also made 57,500 proof sets from Philadelphia, and those sold for $2.10 and now sell for $485. So this can be a very valuable coin if you get an uncirculated or a proof set. It can be very, very valuable, even more valuable if you can get it a circulated version and get it up to proof 67, 68 or over. Proof 66 and down, you're probably talking about $35 or less. Proof 67, you're talking in the high 90s, and then you get to the thousands if you get the best possible coin. And PCGS rated 1 at MS67 Plus sold for $4,700.